Good morning, everybody. Heavy rains since yesterday, and I guess everybody has wisely decided to be at home for the sessions today. Great. Quick confirmation, audible and visible, Che. Thumbs up, Che. Very nice. Okay, so static and current affairs today. So everybody will be joining in from their locations. You can scan the QR code as usual. Should be able to access the app as usual and join. And please proper names to be used so that I actually know who's there. All right. 4 people yet, one with an angry face. Okay. 3 players. Come on, come on. I see more on Zoom. I see at least 7 people on Zoom. So all of you guys must be there on the app also. Okay. Come on, come on, come on. Where are the rest? Couple of minutes. Yes. Come on, guys. I need participation from all. And this time, no net troubles because everybody is at home. So, convenient net connections to everybody. All right. 5 players ready. I need at least 3 more people who are there on the Zoom call but not in the app, not on the quiz. Okay, let's start then. We'll go with the flow. So, the first question, and we'll start with the current affairs. Which state has recently approved amendments to labor laws allowing longer daily working hours in the private sector? So, labor laws are generally for protecting the workers in industries, in sectors, which also demands a fixed number of working hours. But Maharashtra has recently made amendments to the labor laws which allows companies to have longer working hours. But let's hope the longer working hours are also accompanied by decent wages, salaries, and not just exploitation. Okay, so Maharashtra, good guess. Let's move on to the next one. So the next question, again from current affairs, which institution secured the top position in the NIRF rankings 2025 for the 7th consecutive year? NIRF rankings are basically rankings of educational institutions in India, and this is the official ranking done by the government. Right? If you go to the official website, you can find the rankings of all the institutions which participate. You can find out brand related, sector related. So for which are the top engineering colleges, medical colleges, law colleges, so on and so forth. And for the 7th consecutive year, it has been IIT Madras, my alma mater, which has been ranked at number 1. Yay! Moving on to the next question, question 3. Which institution is pioneering AI artificial intelligence tools for Indian languages and cultural heritage? under the Bhashini project. Artificial intelligence is practically used for everything related to tech these days. We have got chat GPTs and your Groks and Geminis and Da Vinci's and everything. So it is IIT Jodhpur, right? One of the newer IITs, IIT Jodhpur, which is pioneering the use of artificial intelligence tools for Indian languages and cultural heritage. Okay, moving on to the next one. What are the revised GST slabs under the new structure effective from September 2025? Goods and services tax, a lot in the news. Nirmala Sitharaman often in the news for that. And the current government has often been criticized for its various GST policies and stuff. But this has been in the news. It has been effectively made into 3 slabs: 5%, 18% and 40%. These are the 3 new slabs for GST. And of course, many products have been, many of the goods and services have been taken away from GST, no GST on some of them. So the most expensive one will be 40%, and that would be mostly for your luxury products or sin products as they call. Okay, moving ahead to the next one. How many judges has the Supreme Court Collegium recommended for appointment to the Allahabad High Court? So Collegium system is basically the system where members of the Collegium, they decide on the selection. So the Allahabad High Court, how many judges have been recommended for appointment by the Supreme Court Collegium? And the answer is 26. 26. All right. Next one. So all these have been in the news recently. So if you have been reading the newspapers, you would definitely know about things which are happening. Chalo, let's move on. Next one. Okay. Which Indian state plans to celebrate the Batukamma festival in the style of Rio Carnival to attract international tourists? If you have seen the Rio Carnival, and a lot of videos are available online, it's a huge festival and a lot of tourists go there. In fact, even in India, in Goa, there is a very similar festival called Carnival, which happens during the winters, right? Very popular around the time of Christmas. So the state and the correct answer did not get a single vote. It's not Kerala, Karnataka or Andhra, it is Telangana, the one thing which nobody guessed. Okay, interesting. Moving on to the next question on the list. What is the name of India's first fully indigenous 32-bit microprocessor developed for space missions? And I think Prime Minister Narendra Modi was talking about this. In fact, I think he was the one who launched it. And definitely, I remember seeing some news snippets and reels about Modi talking about this, holding it up. So what's the name of the thing? So it's the Vikram 3201, right? It's a 32-bit indigenous. Indigenous means completely developed in India itself. Indigenous is completely developed in India itself. Okay, moving on to the next question. Which city secured the top rank as the safest city for women in India according to the Nari 2025 report? Pretty interesting options. I know at least one of them which I won't be touching. Thankfully, nobody hit New Delhi, but unfortunately, nobody hit Kohima either. Right? Kohima, northeast, capital in the northeast. It's not Vizag, Visakhapatnam or Lucknow. It is Kohima in the northeast, which is known for being safe, at least according to the Nari 2025 report. Okay, guys, moving on to the next one. The next question right there on your screen. Which country's students will benefit from the 1000 e-scholarships announced by India for the academic year 2025-26? Of course, many Indian universities do have students coming in from outside to study here. It's not just Indians who go to study in other countries, right? So 1000 e-scholarships have been announced for students from Afghanistan. I don't know how much you are aware of this, but you go to even Gujarat University and you will find a large chunk of students from two places. One is Afghanistan and second is Africa, right? You will find a lot of African students from specific countries coming to study, Ethiopia, Nigeria, and so on. And of course, Afghanistan remains one of the countries which sends a large number of students to study in India. Okay, moving on. The next question, who has been appointed as the 29th Controller General of Accounts of India in September 2025? Controller General of Account, देश का CA, CGA. The CGA, Controller General of Accounts. And the answer is yes, TCA Kalyani. Only one person got it right. I hope raw from education and not a fluke luck. Definitely not Meena Agarwal. It's TCA Kalyani. Okay, moving on to the next question. What is the new FDI limit announced for India's insurance sector under the 2025 amendment rules? FDI is foreign direct investment, right? External entities, non-Indian entities, there are always limits on how much they can invest in India. So for the insurance sector, what is the new limit? Okay, so it is 100% actually. Earlier it was 75% and now it has been moved up, right? It's not 74%. Earlier itself it was 75% and now it has been increased. So the new limit now is 100%, the one option which nobody got. All right, moving on. Next question right there on the screen. What is the name of the new commando battalions being raised by the Indian Army to enhance strike capabilities? And all four names from Indian mythology. Garuda, the eagle vehicle for Vishnu. Bhairav, as in Kal Bhairav, powerful force. Vajra, the thunderbolt, Indra's weapon. We talked about it last week, I guess. And Trishul, the trident of Lord Shiva. But it is Bhairav, which is the name of the new commando battalion. Okay, Garud would be a great name for something related to air, right? Because eagle. So my choice would not have been Garud if I did not know. I would have guessed one among the other three. Okay. Moving on to the next question. Which city will host the Badminton World Championships in August 2026? Under 1 year from now. Which city is going to host the World Badminton Championships? Mumbai, Ahmedabad, Hyderabad, or New Delhi? Okay, lot of votes for Ahmedabad, but the city is New Delhi. New Delhi is going to play host to the Badminton World Championships in 2026. Right, moving on to the next one. And the question, where was the 25th Shanghai Cooperation Organization SCO summit held, which was attended by PM Narendra Modi? And this was definitely covered a lot in the news, especially after Trump's announcement of tariffs. Russia, India, and China, the three big nations in the world today after US, are definitely in talks with each other. So the SCO was a place where a lot of meetings happen. And it happened not in Shanghai, although the name of the summit is, the name of the thing is SCO, but it is always called SCO irrespective of where it is held. And it was held in Tianjin. Tianjin was definitely a lot in the news. Okay, 15th question for the day. Where was India's first mobile tempered glass factory inaugurated in 2025? Definitely covered in the news. I think it was in yesterday or day before's news. And if you follow me on Instagram, I put out some news snippets every day on Instagram, and this I definitely covered. Okay, so the place where the first mobile tempered glass factory was is Noida, North Hokla Industrial Development Authority, Noida. The name Noida, I would have said this 100 times before. The word Noida itself is an acronym. It stands for North Hokla Industrial Development Authority or agency. I'm not sure about the A, but that's it. Okay, moving on to the leaderboard. Oh, now we are having a shift of positions happening. Nice. Let's move ahead with the next question. And the next question up there on the screen. Which country will send its first official pickleball team to the World Cup in USA? I was made aware there is a sport called pickleback just a few months back. Apparently, there is even a World Cup happening. So which country is going to send its first official pickleball team to the World Cup in USA? I'm sure many of you might even be playing this sport. Pickleball seems to be a cross between table tennis and tennis. Okay, so the country is India, guys. India. So it's pickleball in India is no longer just a time pass sport. It has become a serious sport to merit its own official World Cup. Interesting. Moving on to the next one, and there it is on the screen. In which state will India's first multi-lane free flow MLFF tolling system be implemented? So toll booths, right? Definitely in the news for a long time. But multi-lane free flow tolling system is going to be implemented where? Definitely covered by me in the past week's Instagram updates, and it is Gujarat. Gujarat, right here in Gujarat, we are going to have the country's first multi-lane free flow tolling system, tolling booth. Okay. Next question up there on the screen. Which tech company has partnered with the International Cricket Council, ICC, to promote women's cricket globally? Men's cricket definitely does not need any promotion. In fact, the men's cricket receives so much of funds, they probably can fund a few other things. But there's a tech company which has partnered with the ICC to promote women's cricket. Let's see which one. And the answer is, of course, Google. Google, founders Larry Page, Sergey Brin. Google is the company which is going to partner with ICC to promote women's cricket. Okay, moving on to the next one up there on the screen. What is the name of India's first AI-powered tribal language translator launched by the Ministry of Tribal Affairs? We already had one question related to AI and literature in this very session a few slides back. So India is also launching a tribal language translator, and the name of that is Adivani, right? Adi, the word Adi is in Hindi is often used in connection to tribals, Adi Manav and all that. So Adivani is the AI translator app. Okay. Moving on to the next one. Question right there. Which organization became the first Indian NGO to win the 2025 Magsaysay Award? The Ramon Magsaysay Awards has been won by many Indians. Dr. Kiran Bedi was awarded with one. Arvind Kejriwal has been a recipient of the Ramon Magsaysay Award. But now an organization, the first Indian NGO which has won the 2025 Magsaysay Award is the organization Educate Girls. Worthy cause, great award. Okay, let's see if there is any shift in positions. Yep. Positions shifting. Very nice, very nice, very nice. Let's move ahead to the next one. Which country has been ranked as Asia's safest in the 2025 Global Peace Index? We have already seen safest cities for women in India, Kohima. But now Asia's safest according to the 2025 Global Peace Index. Sadly, India not featuring in the options. And the country is Singapore. Maximum votes, great, great, great. All right, moving on to the next one. Who won the gold medal in the men's 25 meters standard pistol individual event at the 16th Asian Shooting Championships in Shymkent at Kazakhstan? Now, shooting has multiple distances. You have 10 meters, you have 25 meters, I think there's a 50 meters. Then you have stand shooting, you have prone shooting, pistols, rifles, so many different categories. And the shooter from Turkey who won the silver at the previous Olympics, his image became very popular that everybody was wearing all different kinds of equipment and this banda just rocked up with a pair of glasses and won silver. Anyway, the person who won the gold at the men's 25 meter standard pistol individual event was Gurpreet Singh. Carrying on, the next question up there. Which tech company launched AI photo editing tool originally codenamed Nano Banana? And I surprisingly was using the tool when suddenly it gave me a pop-up update. Would you like to use the enhanced capabilities called Nano Banana? And I was like, are they kidding me? Nano Banana? But yes, very pleasantly surprised. Nano Banana. So this is a tool I use very regularly. So it's by Google. All right. Moving ahead, the next question up there on the screen. And what was the purpose of ISRO's first integrated airdrop test, the IADT-1 for Gaganyaan mission? I covered this in one of my Instagram updates. The first integrated airdrop test, what does it check? What was it tested for? What is it going to be used for? So basically, airdrop is literally when you drop something from an aircraft to the ground. So when you're dropping something, the first thing that you would require is parachute to reduce your fall speed, right? So airdrops, the first thing that I would have guessed if I did not know the exact answer would be something parachute related. So fourth option, to validate parachute based deceleration system. Okay. So either you should know the answer or you should intelligently try to guess from the options. Now, which company has partnered with Department of Post to implement DigiPin digital addressing system in India? I think I read this some time back. I went online and even searched for it. And it's a very interesting system. Apparently, it generates a pin for your exact location. And they are going to, it will be a, I think, numbers and characters based 6 or 8 digit something. And if you put that pin, the geographical location will be exactly mapped. And a lot of individual companies, mostly delivery companies, might also start integrating this system. So this is Map My India. Sadly, the one option which did not receive any votes. But Map My India, along with the Department of Post, is starting the DigiPin system. It's very interesting. Go and check it out. Okay. So again, we have a shift in positions. Great. Moving ahead. Which company is building a solar project in Kutch that will be 3 times the size of Singapore? Imagine, the size of Singapore is so small. We have got enough place in one of our, not even a state, one of our districts, which can accommodate something which is 3 times the size of a literal country. Geographically, it blasts my mind. So this is being done by Reliance. Reliance. Okay. Next one. Who won first place in the Zurich Diamond League 2025 men's javelin event with a season best throw of 91.51 meters? Of course, javelin in athletics started getting a lot of prominence after a certain person won certain medals at certain events, if you know what I'm talking about. And that was not the person. I knew, इसीलिए डाला था. But it was not Neeraj Chopra who won. It was Julian Weber who won the first place in the Zurich Diamond League 2025. Okay. Next question. Which institution performed India's first robotic laser cataract surgery? With the improvement in robotics technology, operations can now be performed by robots controlled by doctors sitting miles and miles away. A doctor could literally be sitting in one country and through guided robotics perform an operation elsewhere. And hopefully this will lead to a lot of benefits to the people. And of course, we are talking about the Army Hospital which did it, not AIIMS Delhi. This is the Army Hospital which did it. Okay. Moving on. Who has been appointed as the IMF Executive Director for a 3-year term starting August 28, 2025? The International Monetary Fund. Urjit Patel, Raghuram Rajan, Shaktikanta Das, Arvind Subramaniam. All past RBI governors. But among them, who was the IMF Executive Director from August 2025? And that's Urjit Patel. Urjit Patel. Okay. Next one. Simple question. On which date is the National Sports Day 2025 celebrated in India? The 29th of August, 5th of September, 26th of January, or 15th of August? And I'll take a wild guess here. Yep. So 5th of September in memory of Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan is Teachers' Day. 26th of Jan, Republic Day, and 15th of August, Independence Day. So if I have to take a guess, I would choose the odd man out. Of course, you can have it on one of the other days as well. But an educated guess or a calculated risk would be the first option, which many seem to have taken. Great. So here's the updates, and now we have people shifting. Ooh, nice. Okay. Moving ahead. Which state will host the Filmfare Awards 2025 for the second consecutive year? So if you know where it took place last year, same location. And I think a couple of you might know it. Least votes. It's Gujarat. Guys, it happened in Gift City. Last year, the function was held at Gift City. And again, they are going to hold it at the same location, I guess, or in and around the same location this year as well. So it's Gujarat. Okay. Next, by which year is India projected to become the world's second largest economy in purchasing power parity terms, according to the Ernst & Young report? PPP stands for Purchasing Power Parity. EY is a company, Ernst & Young. And 2038 max votes. Nice. Okay. With which continent did India's trade surpass 100 billion US dollars in 24-25? With which continent did India's trade surpass 100 billion US dollars in 24-25? And the answer that we are looking for is Africa, Africa, Africa. Okay. Which country launched its first national guidelines for animal blood bank to improve veterinary healthcare and biosafety? India, most of us did get that. Yep. On one hand, we talk about blood banks for animals. On the other hand, we have things happening in the Delhi NCR region with stray dogs. Okay. Which country signed a letter of intent with the World Food Programme to supply fortified rice globally in 2025? So again, India. Right. And slight shifts in positions. Moving ahead. Now we go to the static part. The unit of current. I think we talked about SI system, units, system, international units. So the unit for current is what? Yeah, like you have for mass, distance, time. So for current, what is the unit? And the answer is ampere. Watt is not for current. Current is measured in amperes. Okay. Coming up for sports. Thomas Cup is associated with what? The Thomas Cup is associated with which sport? And the answer is badminton. Moving ahead, vitamin B12 is most useful for fighting against what? Vitamin B12 helps you fight with anemia. So, vitamin A is night blindness, goiter is basically iodine deficiency, and rickets and scurvy are vitamin C. B12 is for anemia. Okay. The term which denotes that each side has made equal point at game point in tennis is referred to as what? So it's called a deuce. Butterfly. Again, This is related to sports. But which sport is the term butterfly connected with? So this is one of the styles of swimming, right? You have freestyle, butterfly, backstroke, breaststroke. It's one of the styles of swimming. Okay. Halfway through. The term used to describe a sudden fall of a government brought about by illegal force is known as what? The term used to describe a sudden fall of government brought about by illegal force is called a coup d'etat. It's called a coup d'etat. Deficit financing and deflation and deficit financing are finance related terms. They have nothing to do with fall of governments. Thank God credit squeeze nahi bola. Steeplechase is associated with which sport? The term steeplechase is horse racing. No, boxing and chess? No. It's horse racing. So steeplechase. Even in running, you have a steeplechase where you jump over the hurdles. It's called hurdles. The velocity of light was first measured by whom? Definitely not me. So the velocity of light was first measured by Romer. Galileo was an astronomer, but he didn't calculate the velocity of light, and definitely not Einstein. It was Romer who actually did it. And you can look up the methodology used. It was very crude, very basic setup, but very interesting how they managed to do it. Okay. The third highest nation award given for distinguished services in any field is what? Remember, guys, not we have seen the military awards, Paramveer Chakra, Shaurya Chakra, Kirti Chakra, and so on. But these are civilian awards. So the third highest is the Padma Bhushan, the one thing which nobody selected. So Bharat Ratna, Padma Shri, Padma Bhushan, Padma Vibhushan. That's the order in which we go. All right. Velocity of wind is measured using what device? The velocity of wind. So the velocity of wind you calculate by using an anemometer. Anemometer. And we have a change. Noise, noise, noise. Okay. Next one. The unit of energy in MKS system. Meter kilo second. MKS is meter kilo second. What is the unit of energy? The answer is joule. Guys, volt is for potential difference. Erg is for energy, but it is in the CGS system, which is the centimeter gram second system. And ohm is, of course, resistance. It is joules. Okay. Unofficially and usually illegal system of providing people with more than their share of goods and services when prices are controlled is known as what? Come on, this one definition khatarnak lag raha hai, but it's a very common term. Black market. Yep. Black money is not the system. Black money is the money which is earned. But the system is called the black market. Okay. Next one. The theory of inheritance of acquired character, basically genetics, was propounded by whom? And I have a feeling I'm going to get some wrong answers in this one. Yep. Charles Darwin is for evolution, not inheritance of characters. And Gregor Mendel famously came up with the experiment to explain that. But the theory of inheritance of acquired character was actually by J.B. Lamarck. Tiger Woods, famous, also infamous. Huge scandal he was caught up in. But he's associated with which sport? Tiger Woods, very famous, and it is golf, not boxing or table tennis, no, golf. One of the world's greatest players, but got involved in a huge scandal. Temporary suspension of hostilities by mutual consent in order to start a peace negotiation. So when two countries are at war and they decide to temporarily stop fighting so that they can try to negotiate, what is that known as? Arbitration is not stopping of war. It is the negotiation itself, or rather trying to resolve conflict, usually used in corporate terms. Asylum is when you seek refuge in another place, right? But when two countries decide to temporarily stop their war, that's called an armistice. Okay. Which is the oldest paramilitary force in the country? The oldest paramilitary force. So that would be the Assam Rifles. Guys, BSF is the border security force. Definitely a paramilitary force, but not the oldest. The oldest is the Assam Rifles. Okay. In which year was Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi assassinated? Kya hota hai? Was. In which year was Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi assassinated? In fact, I should even ask you the date for it. So it was 1940. India got independence in 1947. He did not live for even a year after that. He was assassinated on the 30th of January 1948 by Nathuram Godse, as Gandhi was coming out of his prayer meeting. Right? He got assassinated on 30th of January 1948. Okay. What is the name for the post-harvest folk dance in Assam? I think for most people, Assam is known for one dance. Most people know one dance from Assam. In fact, it's the name of a festival also, and that's Bihu. Right? They literally celebrate Bihu, and the name of the dance is also the Bihu. Okay. Next one. Languages from which part of India belong to the Dravidian family? Guys, everybody should get this. 100% everybody should get this. I'll be super shocked if somebody does not get this. Huh? Guys, Dravidian culture is South Indian culture. DMK, the Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam, EIA DMK, All India Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam. Dravid is literally the term used for South. And I have got enough candidates for Northeast and West as well. Ha. Okay. Chemistry. Which of the following chemicals is useful in photography? So that is silver bromide. Oh, nice. At least chemistry is better than our knowledge of geography. Okay. Quick question. Now let's see whether you know your sporting venues. Where is Green Park located? Green Park, the sports stadium, is located in Kanpur. Yep. Again, sports. But this is, I'm hoping, known to all. When a batsman in cricket, no, it's cricket. When a batsman in cricket is out without scoring a single run, it is known as what? And somebody does not give me the right answer, I'm going to be shocked. Shocked, I tell you, shocked. Flight. And why am I having only 4 responses to this? Come on, what are the others doing? Sleeping? Come on, guys. This was literally one of the easiest ones. Okay. A dynamo converts what type of energy to which type of energy? If you know what a dynamo is, yep, mechanical to electrical. And now we have Janta back. Why did we have only 4 responses to duck? Okay, the reaction which converts sugar solution into alcohol is an example of prohibited stuff in Gujarat. Okay. Saponification is the process through which soap is involved. Hydrogenation is जिससे hydrogenated वनस्पति घी बनती है. Right. Fermentation is the breaking down of sugars into alcohol. Ozone layer restricts what? The ozone layer restricts what? This used to be a lot in the news in 90s. Just global warming now is currently a big thing for the current generation. The hole in the ozone layer was a big thing during our time. And yes, ultraviolet rays. Okay. The news agency Reuters belongs to which place? Reuters. So this is the United Kingdom, Reuters. It's a news agency basically, and many reports when you see it is sourced from Reuters. I think there's one more news agency related question which is there somewhere in today's quiz. Let's see. But origin of modern badminton is attributed to which place, country? Badminton originated in Britain. China and India are definitely powerhouses now, just like cricket. Everything originated, most of the things originated in Britain, and other countries, colonial places, literally beat them at their own originated sport. Okay, jokes apart, moving on. Ronaldinho is associated with which sport? This I think many of us will get. Please get this right. Please get this right. Please get this right. Ronaldinho is associated with what? So yes, football, not badminton, and it is Ronaldinho. No, there is a play. I hope you know it's not Ronaldo. It's not a misprint. There is Ronaldo and there is Ronaldinho. Or maybe you thought it was a Gujarati bhai calling Arey Ronaldinho. No. Okay. The process of revival of learning that swept across Europe in 15th and 16th century. I remember first chapter of my 10th standard textbook, history. It's called the Renaissance. Feudalism was basically when landlords used to own the land and keep serfs and stuff. But the awakening, Renaissance also known as the awakening. Okay. The Roman governor and principal assassin in the murder of Julius Caesar. Julius spelled incorrectly, but Julius Caesar. Or as I heard somebody say, Caesar, Julius Caesar. No, it is Julius Caesar. No, Marcus Aurelius was famous for other things, and I think this reference is there in the Gladiator movie, Russell Crowe. But there's a famous dialogue when Julius was stabbed. His last words were "Et tu Brute," "You too, Brutus," because it was his close friend Brutus who stabbed him. Okay, moving on. Ampere. Oh, this question I think is already done, so everybody should get this one. And if somebody gets this wrong, Pitai Yogi. Because this was already asked in today's set. Abbe yaar, energy, joule, erg, I talked about it. SI unit for electric current is ampere. Potential difference, volt. Watt is for power, I guess. Okay. The playground for baseball is known as what? So court is badminton, tennis, those sort of things. Ring is generally boxing and pitch is cricket. For baseball, we have a diamond. All right. The sacred text for Confucianism. It's a Asian religion mostly found in Japan, China, those regions. And the first one we already covered in Tripitakas. We did it last time, I guess. I think it's Jains or Buddhist Tripitakas. Quran is of course Islam, and Torah is for Jews. For Confucianism followers, it is the Analects. All right. RH factor. What is RH factor? So basically your blood type. It is a protein found in the blood of people, and that's why you are called Rh positive or Rh negative. And Rh stands for rhesus. It is named after the rhesus monkey because this was first observed in the rhesus monkey. So the Rh, so whether you are Rh positive or Rh negative, that is because of the protein which is either present or absent. And it was first discovered in the rhesus monkeys, and from there we get the term Rh factor. Okay. Next one. The scientist who first discovered that Earth revolves around the sun. Was Copernicus. Yep, Newton was a physicist. Copernicus is the best guess among all. And we have a shift. Oh, great. All right. Remember Reuters we did last? I said there's one more related question. So Associated Press is associated with which countries? Which country? Associated Press is America, just as Reuters is UK. Okay. Significance of peace, symbology, iconography. Significance of peace. How do you depict it? What is the symbol for peace? Significance of peace. So it is the olive branch, guys, olive branch. Yes, you have the dove, white dove, olive branch, and white dove carrying the olive branch in its beak is the ultimate symbol of peace. Okay. Moving ahead, next one. Arundhati Roy won the Booker in 1997 for which book? So, Booker Prize is basically an award in literature. It's considered one of the top, in fact, the top award for literature. It's called the Booker Prize. And Arundhati, one of the Indians to win it, won it for which particular book of hers? And I think a passage from this book has been asked in a couple of entrance exams. It has definitely been asked once in CLAT. I think some edition of IPM also had a reference to a passage from this. So it was the God of Small Things. Okay. The human body has how many chromosomes? So the human body, and I'm guessing some of you will guess it wrong because of not having properly read it. Yep. So 23 pairs of chromosomes we have. A pair is 2. So 23 multiplied by 2. 46 is the actual number of chromosomes. And because they are always in pairs, we have got 23 pairs or 46. Okay. What is the chief constituent of gobar gas? I don't know about you, but I have had many teachers who used to call us gobar bhara hua. So the chief constituent of gobar gas, of course, is methane. And I think last time we were talking about farts of cows releasing a lot of methane causing global warming, right? So that should have been a good enough hint. Okay, shifts, nice. Last set, I guess. Yep. So the chief purpose of crop rotation is to check the loss of topsoil by or of what? So this is crop rotation is basically to check the loss of topsoil of mineral content. If you keep growing the same type of crop, then a crop doesn't require all nutrients, right? So it will take all specific one specific nutrient, and if it is not replaced, then there's a problem. So what they do is they adjust the crop such that one cycle may certain nutrients are taken, in the other cycle other nutrients are taken. So enough time is available to the soil to replenish its content of all nutrients. So that's basically crop rotation. Okay. A little bit of world history and international organizations. The first meeting of SARC was at SARC, I hope everybody knows, South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. So the first meeting of SARC was held in Bangladesh. Although the headquarters is Kathmandu, Nepal, the first meeting was at Dhaka in Bangladesh. Okay. Where is the central command of our army? The central command of our army, where is it located? Lucknow. Yep. All right. Who invented television? I think I mentioned the name last time. It was one of the options for something else, and I mentioned what this gentleman had done. So basically, who invented the television? Let's see if you get it. And John Logie Baird, J.L. Baird was the one who done it. Michael Faraday's electromagnetic induction, Edison, among other things, lot of other things. But television, John Logie Baird. And the last for the current session, the dance performed by women to invoke rain in Bihar. I think some Biharis must have danced this week in Ahmedabad as well. So we are having heavy rains. Nice. Dance performed by women to invoke rain in Bihar is known as the Jata Jati. Bihu is, of course, we have seen this before, Assam. Right. So that brings us to the very end of the session. We are done with the current GK things. I think we wrapped up pretty early. Not bad. We can now catch up again regular time at 1:30 for our next sessions. Both the sessions I'll be taking. So we'll catch up at 1:30, guys. If there are any questions, ask. Otherwise, we can have a nice long break. We catch up at 1:30. Chalo. Nice.